Right now, cases of the coronavirus are up 157% in just the last week here in the U.S. We're hearing from a new warning.
Plus, we've got the latest on an attempted homicide in Sauk City, where authorities say they're searching for a man they consider armed and dangerous.
And you may be already seeing some raindrops outside of your house this morning. I'm watching the radar map. We have a lot of rain in our forecast today. I'll tell you when it's going to come to an end in just a few minutes.
This is News 3 Now this morning.
Good morning, everyone, and thanks for joining us. It's Monday, March 9th. I'm Josh Sprader.
And I'm Keely Arthur. We start this morning with the latest on the coronavirus. 110,000 cases have been confirmed worldwide, and that number continues to grow by the hundreds daily.
Here in the United States, we've seen a 157% increase in cases in just the last week, with more than 550 cases. This comes as the Surgeon General issues a warning for anyone who feels sick and has flu-like symptoms to stay home and asks employers to accommodate their workers.
Uber says they will offer paid sick leave for their drivers should they be infected or quarantined with the coronavirus. The company says their drivers and delivery people are eligible for up to 2 weeks of paid sick time. A company official says the policy is already in place in some markets with the aim to make it worldwide. Uber's announcement represents a policy change for the company, which primarily sees its workforce as independent contractors. Competitor Lyft said it will also provide funds to drivers should they be diagnosed with the virus.
The number of cases in Italy is up to more than 700% since last week. That country is home to the third largest outbreak of the virus and the largest outside of Asia. New laws from the Italian government are now in effect to temporarily restrict the movement of more than 10 million people in the northern part of that country. People who do not follow the restrictions will face up to 3 months in prison and a fine of about $230 US. The lockdown will remain in place until at least April 3rd. A leading member of President Trump's coronavirus task force was asked if similar measures could be issued as the virus spreads to the U.S.
I don't think it would be as draconian as nobody in and nobody out, but there'll be, if we continue to get cases like this, particularly at the community level, there will be what we call mitigation, where you'll have to do essentially social distancing, keep people out of crowded places, take a look at seriousness. Do you really need to travel?
Well, we are less than a week away from Selection Sunday and the start of March Madness. To try and stop the spread of the coronavirus, several Division III schools here in the U.S. are instituting a policy to play games without fans in attendance. And rumors are circulating that the college tournament could soon follow suit. However, the head of the men's basketball for the NCAA says there's no plans for that at this time.
We also travel by charter, by bus, in controlled environments. So we are keeping the health and well-being of student athletes, fans, coaches, first and foremost, always. But the guidance we're getting right now by our experts is that playing without fans is not called for.
Selection Sunday starts at 5 next weekend. You can watch it right here on CBS.
As the number of cases continues to rise, there's a sign of hope in China. Shanghai Disneyland says they will resume a limited number of operations starting today. The theme park has been closed since January 25th to prevent the spread of coronavirus in China, where the disease is believed to have started. More than 80,000 people there were infected, but now around 70% of those patients have recovered.
The ongoing global outbreak is still placing numerous events and festivals in the entertainment industry at risk of cancellation. Mariah Carey, Green Day, and BTS have called off or postponed tour dates in affected areas. Filming for several TV projects are also on hold due to concerns. And now the Cannes Film Festival, the largest film festival in the world, is at risk of being canceled as well. Festival organizers say they currently have no plans to cancel. However, that could change as France is currently home to more than 1,200 cases of the virus. More local news now. We have our own film festival coming here in Wisconsin, and starting today, you can get a sneak peek of what we'll be showing. Over the next few weeks, the Madison Public Library is teaming up with the Wisconsin Film Festival to preview what's coming up next month. They'll be showing trailers of this year's films and have festival staff on hand to answer any of your questions. The first sneak peek is tonight at Hawthorne Library on East Washington Street, starting at 6. If you can't make it tonight, that's okay. There are events scheduled at other libraries across the city on the 17th, 21st, and 27th. The Wisconsin Film Festival runs through the 9th of April. Well, a pop of color might be on its way to downtown Madison roadways with a proposal to design and paint LGBTQ+ inclusive rainbow murals.
Yeah, similar to other cities, the murals would be in place of pedestrian-only crosswalks. Our Gabriella Becerra is live from State Street with more. Gabby, good morning.
Hi, Keely and Josh. State Street, it's quiet right now, but normally it's buzzing with pedestrians, which is why right here between these two pedestrian-only crosswalks is considered a top location for one of those rainbow murals. Take a look at these mock-up images, which show exactly where the Progress Pride flags could be painted. The proposal says this project would cost about $50,000. All of it would be funded by donors. Alder Lindsay Lemmer is sponsoring this bill and says it will send a positive message to those living in our community and those who visit Madison.
It shows that we celebrate everyone in our community, and I think it is an important message to send to youth in our community and beyond, that they are welcomed and appreciated, and we appreciate them for who they are, and we hope that they do too.
Organizers say they researched good materials for the murals to help them last between 5 and 8 years. And now organizers are hoping that if these murals are approved, they'll be here by June, just in time for Pride event celebrations and other warm activities to get people out to see a bit of color. Madison's Finance Committee will take this up at their meeting tonight at 4:30.
All right, thank you so much, Gabby.
All right, over to Hattie now, who's keeping her eye on some rain, and it's going to be a rainy week, it's looking heads.
Yeah, pretty busy week for us with 4 weather systems moving through the area this week, most of them bringing rain. There is a chance for a few snowflakes mixing in Tuesday night, but otherwise mild temperatures are expected. Now, not as warm as what we had yesterday with highs in the 60s, but will at least be in the 40s and 50s. Here's what's happening this morning. We have widespread moisture out ahead of a cold front that will be working its way through the area later on today. A rather slow moving system, so we have a rainy day coming up. Most of the day will be wet today. Behind this system, there is a little bit of cold air. You can see some snow breaking out across parts of Nebraska. There is a chance for a few snowflakes to mix in, but most of the precipitation from this particular system is going to fall in the form of rain. And on Doppler track this morning, you can see that that rain is lifting northward. Earlier, we did have a few lightning strikes showing up here across southern Wisconsin, so some of you may have heard some thunder early this morning. No severe weather is expected, but this little initial band of rain is just the beginning. All this precipitation is going to make its way into southern Wisconsin. So if you're not seeing any raindrops just yet, you will in a couple of hours. In fact, the probability of precipitation really ramps up between 7 and 8 o'clock this morning and then stays high. So what the forecast shows is that you're likely to get wet today. Your future track forecast model shows you that rain lifting northward early this morning. By the lunch hour, we are looking at some widespread rain across southern Wisconsin, and that continues through the afternoon right into the evening. So it is going to be a wet commute home from work this evening. Temperatures, though, will still be in the 50s. Overnight tonight, again, there's that chance for a little bit of snow to mix in on the backside of the system. Little to no snow accumulation is expected. This is going to be mainly a rain event for us, and many locations, I say, should Madison and points to the south, could see over ½ an inch of rain today. Let's take a look at that extended forecast then. Keep the umbrella close by because we do have another chance for, again, a mix late Tuesday into early Wednesday. It'll likely end as all rain across southern Wisconsin. Another system on Thursday and then again on Saturday, bringing some rain to the area. Here's a look at your first warned traffic maps now across southern Wisconsin. The roads look pretty wet, as you can see from the DOT cameras here in Madison. No major delays just yet, but with that rain coming in, I would expect the commute to be a little bit slower than normal as we go through the rest of the morning.
Well, Hattie, it's so exciting to hear you talking about rain instead of snow for once.
Yeah, we don't have to shovel this stuff.
Exactly. That's exactly right. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Time right now is 6:08, and right now authorities are searching for a man they call armed and dangerous in connection with an attempted homicide. It happened in Sauk City around 11:30 Sunday morning. Police say a person was shot multiple times by someone in the passenger seat of a rusty 2003 silver Buick Century. Neighbors in the area were able to give police enough information for them to identify that suspect as 23-year-old Gunnar Tempest. Police say it's Sauk City's first attempted homicide in more than 30 years.
It's been a very long time since something like this has happened in this community. Crimes like this can happen any time of the day at any location, and that's why we're constantly telling people to be aware of their surroundings.
Police believe Tempest knew the victim. The victim's name and condition haven't been released yet.
Milwaukee police are investigating a quadruple shooting on the city's north side. Officials say a fight broke out inside a bar early Sunday morning before shots were fired inside and outside of that business. A 31-year-old man did die in that shooting, while 3 other men are being treated for gunshot wounds. Authorities say their suspect is in custody.
The murder trial for an Iowa County man accused of killing his stepfather will continue today. Opening arguments in Austin Valdez's case began Friday afternoon in Iowa County Court. Valdez is accused of shooting his stepfather to death back in 2018. He says he was trying to protect his mother, who was in the middle of a physical argument. Valdez faces a charge of first-degree intentional homicide. His trial is expected to last all week.
Jury selection will begin today for a former Girl Scout troop leader accused of sexually assaulting a Girl Scout. 51-year-old Stephen Faust is accused of repeatedly assaulting the girl from 2010 to 2015 before, during, and after he was involved with her troop over in Sun Prairie. Prosecutors say those assaults included inappropriate touching and started when the girl was in kindergarten. Faust is facing a felony charge of repeated sexual assault of a child.
All right, coming up on 6/11 right now, and after a beautiful weekend across southern Wisconsin, we're looking at some changes today as we take a live look outside. Yes, the Beltline is wet this morning. Hattie's tracking some rain coming up in her forecast.
Plus, leading candidates are picking up new endorsements as 6 more states decide who they want to be the Democratic nominee for president. We'll show you who is in the lead next.
Merle Norman's Skintelligent is a skin balancing system enriched with probiotic technology. Skintelligent, the smart solution to healthy-looking, radiant skin. Free beauty picks with the purchase of 2 or more Merle Norman cosmetic products.
If we spend a third of our life sleeping, shouldn't we try to get the best sleep possible? That's why Denver Mattress is all about that sleep life. And during the 4-day super sale, the more you buy, the more you save. Save $100 on every $1,000 you spend. And check out the Summit Queen, only $199.99. Or purchase the Tempur-Pedic and get a free $300 Furniture Row gift certificate, plus 5 years no interest financing. Denver Mattress, the easiest way to get the right mattress.
I grew up working in my family's supper clubs. This is where it started with us as far as the fish that we serve at Culver's today. We source the finest cod and batter each fillet by hand and always cook it to order. That beautiful golden brown color and flaky on the inside. The fish fry is a Midwest tradition. It's about coming together. It's families, friends. I love bringing this tradition to guests everywhere. Mom and Dad would be proud. Welcome to Delicious.
It's the SUV for all you love, the 2020 Subaru Forester at Don Miller. Get the Forester Advantage with Subaru EyeSight Driver Assist technology and blind spot detection with rear cross traffic alert. During the Subaru A Lot to Love event, lease the Forester Premium $269 per month plus tax. 36 months, 10,000 miles per year, $1969 due at signing. No security deposit. The Forester all-wheel drive plus MPG. Don Miller Subaru, West on Odana or East Side, High Crossing Boulevard, Madison.
Don Miller.
If you want your company vehicle noticed, wrap it right with vehicle graphics and wraps from Monarch Media Designs. We are a 3M certified graphics installation company, which means you're getting the best installers, the best materials, the best vehicle wraps. Monarch Media Designs. To see how your business can get noticed, visit our online gallery at monarchworld.com.
Spend more time on your health, not your drive to the gym. Anytime Fitness has 40 area locations, so they're close to home and work. Get more strength training, more cardio, and more coaching at Anytime Fitness. Now, get a 2-week membership at Anytime Fitness for just $2.
Let me introduce me.
Cuts, colors, braids, and fades. We stand for style. Cost Cutter Salons.
#1 in color in Wisconsin.
Merle Norman's Skintelligent is a skin balancing system enriched with probiotic technology. Skintelligent, the smart solution to healthy-looking, radiant skin. Free beauty picks with the purchase of 2 or more Merle Norman cosmetic products.
This morning, presidential candidates Bernie Sanders and Joe Biden are out on the campaign trail preparing for the next wave of primaries tomorrow. Voters from Idaho, Michigan, Mississippi, Missouri, and Washington will be heading to the polling booth, and North Dakota will host its caucus. 352 delegates are on the line, 125 of those coming from Michigan. Former Vice President Joe Biden currently leads the race with 664 delegates. Vermont Senator Bernie Sanders has 573. Tulsi Gabbard, the Congresswoman from Hawaii, is the only other candidate in the race still, and she currently has 2 delegates.
Breaking now, New Jersey Senator and former presidential candidate Cory Booker is endorsing Joe Biden for president. This is the latest endorsement to the Biden campaign, as he and his opponent Bernie Sanders both picked up a number of new endorsements over the weekend, leading into tomorrow's primaries.
I have decided that I am, with great enthusiasm, going to endorse Joe Biden for President of the United States.
I stand with Bernie Sanders today because he stood with me.
That was Senator Kamala Harris backing Biden and Jesse Jackson endorsing Sanders. Sanders also picked up an endorsement from the former president of the NAACP over the weekend. Harris will join Biden in Detroit today for a campaign rally. Sanders and his team have been in Michigan all weekend campaigning. However, Sanders says he does not believe the state is a make or break one for his bid for the ballot. Both candidates are still actively seeking the endorsement of former candidate Elizabeth Warren, who ended her campaign earlier last week.
President Trump has already collected 883 delegates from Republican primaries on his campaign to re-election. However, he is not running unopposed. He faces one challenger, Bill Weld, the former governor of Massachusetts. Weld is considered a long-shot challenger and has managed to claim only 1 delegate so far.
Meanwhile, President Trump says he will not be attending this week's annual St. Patrick's Day lunch at the Capitol due to his relationship with Speaker Nancy Pelosi. The lunch has been held annually since 1987 and is hosted by the sitting speaker. In a statement, the White House accused Pelosi of driving, quote, discord and disunity. This is the first time neither the president nor the vice president will go.
6:16 now. It stayed pretty mild overnight after those high temperatures yesterday. 62 degrees, Hattie. That's quite warm.
It certainly is. We had 60s across a good part of southern Wisconsin. Just a few spots. Juneau topping at 59, Fond du Lac 58, but the rest of the area in the 60s for the first time since mid-August 2019, so about 5 months. Certainly felt nice. This morning is mild, but it's not going to be as mild as it was yesterday. Temperatures are still in the 50s in many locations. Couple of 40s on the map, 47 in Platteville and Monroe. Rain is moving northward, though, into southern Wisconsin. Look for more widespread rain as we head towards the lunch hour today. Your day planner temperatures and weather conditions, though, show you that we do expect on and off showers through the day today with high temps in the low 50s. Pretty close to where we are right now. Coming up, we'll talk about more chances for rain, so keep that umbrella close by this week.
Hattie, thank you. The CDC reports at least 46 E. coli outbreaks linked to leafy greens between 2006 and 2019. Across the U.S., we hear a lot about these outbreaks and recalls of leafy greens like spinach and romaine lettuce. Consumer Reports health experts have good advice on how to keep your salad safe. Because their leaves are delicate and they are grown in exposed fields, leafy greens are susceptible to contamination. On the farm, bacteria may come from animal waste that washes into fields or irrigation canals. In processing plants, contaminated lettuce that's chopped up and included in bags of mixed salad greens can spread harmful bacteria further.
But we don't want people to use this as an excuse to stop eating fresh fruits and vegetables. Leafy greens like lettuces, spinach, kale, and arugula are loaded with vitamins and nutrients.
For the average person, the chances of getting sick from veggies like leafy greens are extremely low. Consumer Reports says there are some steps you can take to lessen your chance of exposure to harmful bacteria in greens. Consider buying whole heads of lettuce. The inner leaves aren't as exposed to contaminants, and they're not handled as much as greens that are bagged, which may reduce the opportunities for contamination. Keep packaged lettuce cold since bacteria multiply at room temperature.
Only buy what you're going to eat fresh. If you see damaged leaves or bruised or slimy greens in the package, don't eat from that.
Consider hydroponic or greenhouse-grown greens, as they may be less likely to be contaminated by bacteria from animal droppings. Research shows that soaking greens in a vinegar water solution for 10 minutes can reduce bacteria levels. Rinsing and dressing can mask any residual vinegar taste, and cooking sturdier greens until they're wilted is the best bet for people who are more likely to be affected by food poisoning, like the elderly, young children, pregnant women, or people with compromised immune systems. Because leafy greens should be a part of everyone's diet. When CR tested almost 300 samples of leafy greens, they found that bacteria levels in packaged greens labeled triple washed were similar to packages marked unwashed. So take these tips to heart and clean those greens when you get them home.
Time right now, 6:19. Ahead of St. Patrick's Day next week, new information is raising concerns about binge drinking here in Wisconsin. We have those latest numbers and how we compare nationally next.
And coming up in our next half hour, we're hearing from the son of the Badgers assistant coach Howard Moore 9 months after their family was in a car crash that killed his mother and sister. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
This portion of News 3 Now is sponsored by Upland Hills Health in Dodgeville.
Cobison Buses, now hiring.
Working with Cobison, it's definitely been great because of the flexibility. If you do need time off, they work around you. They definitely try to make it a company that's based for you.
Visit Cobison.com to apply.
You wouldn't accept an incomplete job from anyone else, so why accept it from your allergy pills? Flonase relieves your worst symptoms, which most pills don't. Get all-in-one allergy relief for 24 hours with Flonase.
Whoa, that doesn't sound good.
I know. I worry every time I have to stop. I really need a brake inspection.
It's free at Meineke.
Did you say free?
Meineke will examine your brakes thoroughly to make sure you're safe to be on the road for free. And if they do find any problems, they'll give you a written estimate for repairs. No surprises.
Wow, free and convenient.
Join the Meineke Rewards program to earn points for the dollars you spend. Receive double points for select brake services. Go to Meineke.com to sign up today.
Event Essentials can help make your next company event memorable with our impressive rental selection. Tents, tables, chairs, decor, and more, we have it all. Contact Event Essentials certified professionals for expert design and rental options. Event Essentials. We supply everything but the guests.
Spring savings at Gobin Cars. Where can you get a 2018 Toyota Corolla for only $12,995 or $209 per month? All with factory warranty at Gobin Cars.
That's right. Gobin Cars has 2018 Toyota Corolla starting at $12,995 or $209 per month. All with remaining factory warranty. So just hurry in today and ask for my dad, Don the Dealman Gobin.
Or my daughter, Crystal the Pistol Gobin.
You gotta go to Gobin. GobinCars.com.
Okay, in my Johnsonville commercial, they opened on a game show set in the 70s. Today we got Johnsonville smoked sausage made with 100% premium pork. Some brands mix meats and add fillers, but not Johnsonville. Contestant number 1 bids the closest, so he wins a boat. And he says, I don't want that boat, I want the sausage. What if I told you that boat is filled with Johnsonville smoked sausage? And that's a smoked sausage commercial made the Johnsonville way.
I've been working out at the Princeton Club for 8 years. I work in the outdoor industry, specifically in the bow hunting field. If you're going on a mountain hunt, it's certainly not an easy adventure. Climbing up a mountain in Montana with 60, 70 pounds in your back is not something easy. I have 2 kids that are 11 and 13, and I always want to be one of those parents that's not sitting on the sidelines. I work out at the Princeton Club to set a positive example for my family and to enjoy my profession to the fullest, which means being in shape for the hunts I attend.
Cobison Buses, now hiring.
After we backed that bus out of its stall and started driving, I just loved it. We really get a chance to get to know each other. Almost everyone has a different story about how they came to bus driving, so you really end up feeling like you're part of a family.
Visit Cobison.com to apply.
Welcome back at 6:23 on a Monday morning. Linda sent in this stunning photo from Lake Koshkonong. Look at that.
So gorgeous. And Hattie, you pointed out that this was taken before probably this past weekend because there's snow on the ground.
Still some snow in that picture, but still very nice. But if you notice, we really don't have a lot of snow left on the ground here.
It went quickly.
It really did.
But I mean, I guess when you get 62 degrees, it doesn't take long.
That's true. And some sunshine and that strong south wind, it all combined for a pretty rapid snowmelt here in southern Wisconsin. Well, if you're looking ahead to celebrating St. Patrick's Day, you don't have to go very far to have some of the best festivities.
Yeah, that's according to a new list by Wallet Hub this morning that has Madison making the top 20 places to go this St. Patty's Day.
And you're probably not surprised to hear Chicago came in on top, known, of course, for dyeing their river green. Madison ranked 16th, while Milwaukee came in at 28th. Financial experts say at least $6.1 billion is expected to be spent for the holiday just this year.
St. Patrick's Day is coming just as a new report finds Wisconsin has the biggest drinking problem in the country. Researchers with Car Insurance 101 discovered that 25.6% of adults in the Badger State binge drink. That is well above the national average of 16.2%. Experts say more than 40 million Americans, that's about 1 in 6 adults, indulge in binge drinking.
Well, if you are having a hard time adjusting to daylight savings time this morning, you are not alone. A new study from Carter's reveals nearly 40% of parents dread it, and more than a quarter said they would rather take a long car trip or flight with their children than deal with the time change. Yes, this definitely says a lot. A majority of parents, 52%, say the change affects them more now that they have children. Nearly half of parents surveyed say their kids are cranky because of daylight savings time, and 1 in 3 parents are desperate for ways to make it better for them and their children. Hattie, how do you feel about all this?
Well, daylight saving time is hard for the little ones, but when you spring forward, if you have a child that gets up early in the morning, now they got up an hour later.
Sleep in a little bit. So
it's not that bad. But then on the flip side, the nighttime routine is a little more difficult. But luckily, my kids are old enough. They're teenagers. They just sleep all the time.
All the time. Yeah, it's hard though, like in the morning, like now, look behind us, live, look, it's dark out in the morning again, though you get the light later on in the day. But.
Yeah, parents are going to be dragging their kids out of bed to get ready for school again today. We have sunrise coming about 7:20 in the morning, but it's light till almost 7 o'clock at night, or I should say the sun sets at about 7. Here's our Pet Walk forecast. This is Oliver and Charlie in Madison. Looks like a good pair. They'll be a little wet, muddy paws later today with rain in the forecast. In fact, take a look at that Doppler track. We do have some showers spreading in, some more widespread rain right now in southwestern Wisconsin.
All right, we're following some breaking news right now. All lanes of the interstate are blocked in Beloit this morning. If we can take a live look at that crash, we will have an update on that coming up when we come back.
News 3 Now First Warn Weather is brought to you by Lazy Boy Home Furnishings and Decor.
Discover a shopping and design experience as comfortable as the furniture. Lazy Boy Home Furnishings and Decor. Schedule your free design consultation today.
I suffered with knee pain for almost 4 to 5 years. I wanted to have the conformist after looking at all the different options. I think having the surgery with the ortho team is the only way to go. They all look out for you as a patient.
Habitat for Humanity of Dane County provides local families long-term stability through home ownership. Statistics show children from stable housing are more likely to get better grades, finish high school, and graduate from college. Strengthen our community. Support Habitat Dane County.
If your gums bleed when you brush, you may have gingivitis, and the clock could be ticking towards bad breath, receding gums, and possibly tooth loss. Help turn back the clock on gingivitis with Parodontax. Leave bleeding gums behind. Parodontax.
All right then. Why do professional builders and remodelers choose Nuns? Seems to be reason number 151, which must be Nuns Boutique Selections. And maybe the big box prices? Ah, yeah. Best of both worlds. Just like at the big box. Oh, maybe not. So why should you choose Nuns? Isn't it obvious? Nuns. Kitchen, bath, and flooring.
So, what's the plan? You jump in there, the drought ends, and then the crops grow.
Okay, what if instead we just built something that would get the water from the river down to the fields? Like with tubes or something?
Well, everybody walked all the way up here, so...
Go on, get on with it!
In you go.
No, you're right.
Eventually, somebody realizes there's a better way to do things. Like a mobile service with the fastest overall speeds. Now with 5G, it's a better way to mobile. It's Spectrum Mobile.
RHD Plumbing has the most reliable professionals in the industry. With honesty you can trust to deliver quality products and workmanship, dedicated to being the best. RHD Plumbing now offers complete bathroom and kitchen remodeling, the best plumbers, and everything else you need to finish your dream project. For your home or business, get the job done right the first time, with no surprises. With the reliable, honest, and dedicated plumbing professionals of RHD Plumbing, proudly serving all of Dane County.
Your business is made from your DNA. Your blood, your sweat, your tears. From a gleam in your eye, you gave it what it needed to grow into the pride and joy it has become. You wouldn't dream of letting anything bad happen to it, so you lavish it with love and wrap it in the cozy warmth of the silver lining. Pamper hamper your business with a policy from West Bend.
I suffered with knee pain for almost 4 to 5 years. I wanted to have the conformist after looking at all the different options. I think having the surgery with the ortho team is the only way to go. They all look out for you as a patient.
The most important things that we're telling everyone are, one, wash your hands regularly.
With containment of coronavirus no longer possible, what local leaders say will help protect you and your family.
We've had a little bit of rain already this morning across southern Wisconsin and even a few rumbles of thunder. All of that full forecast in just a few minutes.
This is News 3 Now this morning.
Good morning. It is Monday, March 9th. I'm Josh Spreiter.
And I'm Keely Arthur. Health officials say containment of the coronavirus is no longer possible, pushing the U.S. into the, quote, mitigation phase.
This essentially means we should expect more cases and more deaths, but the U.S. Surgeon General says this doesn't mean you should panic. Jerome Adams says the country should think about canceling big gatherings and closing schools, quote, to prevent more deaths. There are now more than 500 cases of the coronavirus in the U.S. across 34 states and Washington, D.C. At least 20 people have died.
New this morning, the University of Utah Hospital is taking an innovative approach to preventing the spread of the virus. Take a look at this. The hospital shared this picture on Twitter. It's a negative pressure emergency department screening tent. They say if there was an outbreak, staff would be able to screen patients in the freestanding facility without the risk of the virus spreading to them. They say they'll put up more tents in the coming weeks as needed. There is currently one confirmed case in Utah.
Happening today, at least 21 of the confirmed U.S. cases come from the Grand Princess cruise ship, and that ship has already been in limbo since Wednesday when officials learned a man who traveled on that ship last month later died of the virus. Nearly a week later, the process of evacuating passengers will begin today. A 10-acre site at the port of Upland is getting prepped and secured for their arrival. Getting everyone off that ship could take up to 3 days, though, and the exact arrival time is still being determined. Once the more than 3,000 passengers are taken off that ship, they will be quarantined at Air Force bases in California, Texas, and Georgia. And new this morning, the State Department wants you to avoid traveling on cruise ships altogether because of the risks of coronavirus. In an advisory, the government says people with underlying health conditions shouldn't travel by cruise ship because of the increased risk of infection in that environment. They're urging passengers who have booked cruises to contact the cruise company for more information.
On the 11th anniversary of hitting bottom during the 2008 financial crisis, the spread of the coronavirus is having a major impact on the markets. For the first time in history, Treasury yields are trading below 1%, and the Dow Futures estimates an opening drop of nearly 1,300 points. Bloomberg News reports the markets are now pricing for the Federal Reserve to cut rates to 0% in the next few months. That is the lowest since the global financial crisis. Right now, the U.S. stock market is down by more than 12% since its record high last month. The worry is that the coronavirus will cut corporate profits and slow down economies.
As the world works to manage coronavirus outbreak, experts worry President Trump's immigration policies could put everyone at risk. The Supreme Court's recent decision to stay the public charge rule and the president's efforts to increase ICE presence in sanctuary cities could impact how immigrants approach treatment for the virus. The Guardian reports that while hospitals are usually exempt from most immigration enforcement actions, these measures could discourage immigrants from getting treated. Right now, 2 U.S. politicians are self-quarantined this morning after shaking hands with a man now confirmed to be infected with it. Senator Ted Cruz and Representative Paul Gosar both went to the recent CPAC. Cruz says he doesn't have any symptoms and feels fine, but decided to stay in Texas for at least 4 more days.
Local and state leaders in Wisconsin are focused on staying calm and prepared for the coronavirus. Representative Mark Pocan is reiterating the importance of some basic measures to keep you and your neighbors safe.
The most important things that we're telling everyone are, one, wash your hands regularly, 20 seconds soap and water as much as you can. 2, cough into your elbow so that you're not having droplets hopefully go all over. And 3, try not to touch your face. And trust me, this is a lot tougher, I think, than the other 2.
Officials in Milwaukee say Congress's newly passed $8 billion spending bill will make a big difference around the state by helping support local public health responses. There are currently 12 pending cases of coronavirus here in Wisconsin.
The coronavirus could impact next month's state elections. Verona Mayor Luke Diaz is encouraging folks to absentee vote. In a Facebook post, Diaz says depending on guidance from the CDC, state and public buildings could be closed or short-staffed in the case of an outbreak. The mayor says the city will still hold in-person voting at City Hall, the Verona Senior Center, and Verona Public Library ahead of the April 7th elections. Absentee ballots can be mailed to your home by visiting myvote.wi.gov.
A proposal to design and paint LGBT+ inspired murals might bring some color to Madison this summer.
Yeah, a proposal that some elders say is a long time coming. Our Gabriella Becerra is live from State Street, a possible location. Hi, Gabby.
Hi, Keely and Josh. If this resolution is approved, a large Progress Pride flag will be painted between these two crosswalks at the top of State Street. 4 other murals will also be painted on the Capital City Trail along Lake Monona. For these 5 murals, it's going to cost about $50,000, but none of that will come from the city. This project will be paid for entirely by donors. And elders say Outreach, an LGBT community center, had a strong hand in helping organize this resolution.
It would be an incredible show of support and very impactful for the city and the community at large to really show that that we are a welcoming and inclusive city, specifically for kids or folks that maybe aren't comfortable right now.
Vitale says organizers really thought this project through, including researching materials that will help the murals last between 5 and 8 years. Madison's Finance Committee will take this up tonight in their 4:30 meeting, but organizers are hoping that if it gets approved, it'll be painted in time by June, just in time for Pride events and other fun outdoor warm activities.
Gabby, thank you. 6:36 right now. Hattie is tracking some rain. It's going to be a wet week, Hads.
It certainly is. We have many chances for rain this week, starting with today. You can see widespread rain from Kansas and Oklahoma all the way up into southern Wisconsin. Also can't ignore the few lightning strikes that were occurring earlier this morning. The risk for thunder pretty low. We had just a few rumbles of thunder. No severe weather expected today. Now this rain and moisture will continue to lift into southern Wisconsin. Note that there is some snow on the backside of this system. A little bit of cold air working its way into the regions behind the storm system. We're mainly going to stay on the warm side of things for this particular system. Take a look at Doppler track this morning, and we did have an initial band of light rain push through Madison. Now some more widespread rain is approaching the state line, and it will continue to lift northward. So if you're not seeing any raindrops falling right now, you will within the next couple of hours here in southern Wisconsin. Our chances for precipitation ramp up pretty quickly as we go through the morning hours and then stay high through the rest of the day. Rain chances come to an end overnight tonight by tomorrow morning, so that is the good news. Much drier forecast in the way for tomorrow, but again, plan on bringing that umbrella today. At least temperatures are warm enough to support rain here in southern Wisconsin. We're still in the 50s in many spots. Couple of areas now in the 40s. The Watertown at 46, Monroe 46, Platteville is at 47 degrees. Your future track forecast model shows you that rain lifting northward by the lunch hour. Pretty good bet that most of us are seeing this rain, and the rain is pretty widespread through the afternoon right into the evening, so it'll be a wet commute home from work. Now as this precipitation comes to an end, it may turn cold enough to support a few snowflakes for southern Wisconsin, mainly areas north of Madison. No snow accumulation though expected with this particular system. It's going to be a wet one for us though, where you're going to add up about ½ an inch of rain here in Madison, maybe slightly higher amounts as you approach the state line. Take a look at that extended forecast. We have relatively mild conditions, but a fairly active week. Keep in mind, we have more chances for precipitation, maybe a mix Tuesday night into Wednesday morning, and then rain again on Thursday, and then for Saturday. Here's a look at your first warn traffic maps. This is a live look down close to Beloit where the highway is closed. This is I-43. Semi has hit the traffic lights, so that has closed the roadway there. You'll want to route around that area if you can. Here's a look at traffic in Madison, getting a little busier on the belt line. We're seeing some slowdowns now on Stoughton Road as you try to approach the belt line from the north, but otherwise just wet roads this morning.
You can even smell the rain in the building this morning.
In the station, it's nice.
I think so, a little bit, yeah. It's gonna be nice. It'll clean things up for us today. It's very dirty outside.
Yeah, salty and dirty. The roads are just kind of disgusting right now, so. Looking forward to that. All right, Hetty, thank you.
You're welcome.
Well, voters in 6 states will head to the polls tomorrow in the first round of primaries since Super Tuesday. More than 9% of delegates will be available between Idaho, Michigan, Mississippi, Missouri, North Dakota, and Washington state. Michigan is the largest of the 6 states voting Tuesday and could redefine the primary. Bernie Sanders beat Hillary Clinton there in 2016, but Joe Biden has been appealing to the state's auto workers, citing the Obama administration's bailout of the industry, which helped save thousands of jobs. Trump won that state back in 2016, putting him in motion to get the White House.
Now, both candidates will go into the primaries with new endorsements. Breaking just into the newsroom within the last 30 minutes, former Democratic candidates Cory Booker and Kamala Harris are standing behind Joe Biden. Booker tweeted this morning saying Biden will restore honor to the Oval Office and show there's more that unites us than divides us. Meanwhile, civil rights leader Reverend Jesse Jackson is supporting Bernie Sanders, who says the endorsement is the one of the great honors of his life. Jackson says Sanders' progressive policies give African Americans the best chance to, quote, catch up.
Well, Twitter is applying its new, quote, manipulated media label for the first time on an edited video retweeted by President Trump. Politico reports the White House social media director tweeted an altered video of Joe Biden telling supporters that he couldn't win the election and that we could only re-elect Donald Trump. The tweet, which has been viewed almost 6 million times, cut off the rest of Biden's sentence. A spokesperson says the label isn't currently showing up in tweet details, but is visible in the platform's timeline. The new policy defines manipulated posts as any photos, video, or audio that has been significantly altered or fabricated.
All right, coming up on 641, and after a warm and quiet weekend, you're going to want to take it easy out on the roads this morning with that falling rain. This is another live look at that semi-crash that Hattie mentioned in Rock County, blocking all lanes of I-43. The State Patrol says nobody was hurt, but lanes will be closed for several hours. We'll keep checking on this all morning. Hattie's updating her Monday forecast next.
We'll get through this as time goes on.
And
Deer Season Madness is on now at Sloan Implement. Get a John Deere and your super-size Sloan deal. Get 0% for 84 months or $159 per month on a John Deere 1025R. Get a John Deere now during Deer Season Madness and...
Are you behind on your mortgage? Is the bank threatening to take your home? Are you considering trying to get a loan modification on your own? Did you know that less than 5% of people who tried on their own actually got a modification? At the Mortgage Modification Helpline, we know the rules and regulations banks don't want you to know about, and we've helped thousands of people stay in their homes. So call the Mortgage Modification Helpline today.
Please call 800-631-7749.
It's time to spring forward and embrace the longer, brighter days ahead. It's also the time to get your home improvement projects going with 33% off windows, siding, and doors at Feldco. Plus, no interest until 2021. Kickstart your season, save some serious cash, and let the good times roll. Feldco, improving lives one home at a time.
33% off ends soon. Call now.
For quality windows, siding, and doors, call 866 for Feldco.
Winter in Wisconsin means snow, blustering winds, and sub-zero temperatures. Will your insulation keep your home warm? Frank Construction can always help. We're your roofing and insulation pros. We'll find cracks at air pathways in your insulation that are letting in the icy cold and hindering your comfort. With our thermal imaging and cutting-edge insulation techniques, you'll be sure that your home will be warm and energy efficient for many years to come. Visit frankconstruction.com today and prepare your home for the long winter.
Make time to escape to the coast and enjoy 60 miles of beautiful beaches and let the sound of the ocean's tide take you to your happy place. Now's the perfect time to book your spring getaway to Myrtle Beach, South Carolina. Besides, you deserve it. Seize your moment now and come, let go, and unwind on Myrtle Beach Time.
Let go and unwind on Myrtle Beach Time.
The road to Deer Season Madness is at Sloan's. Get a John Deere and your No Doubt About It Sloan deal. Get 0% for 60 months or $219 per month on a John Deere XUV 835M. Get a John Deere now during Deer Season Madness and...
Wisconsin voters deserve the truth. I'm News 3 Now's Amy Reed. I'm breaking down political ads, explaining whose money is behind them and separating truth from misinformation. Get the facts with Reality Check, only on News 3 Now.
Download the Channel 3000 First Warn Weather app today.
Well, welcome back. The Diocese of Madison will reinstate Father William Nolan to his previous status as a retired priest following an internal investigation.
He was acquitted of 6 sexual assault charges in September, which under testimony Nolan said were false. An internal investigation confirmed that, finding the allegations to not be credible. In the next few days, Nolan will have full faculties as a priest, but the Diocese of Madison says that as a retired priest, he will not be doing public ministry.
And we expect to learn more today about a Verona substitute teacher facing charges after reportedly touching a 13-year-old girl on Friday. Police say 30-year-old Dustin Shallert was arrested on suspicion of second-degree sexual assault and is currently in the Dane County Jail. The arrest came after multiple reports of concerning behavior at Badger Ridge Middle School. When parents told police those concerns, police say several other students reported that Shallert braided some of the female students' hair even after students told him to stop. The school is expected to release more information today, and we'll be sure to bring you that update online at channel3000.com.
All right, 6:45 right now. Hattie's keeping her eye on that snow depth, which is practically nothing across southern Wisconsin.
Yeah, we're down to bare ground after a nice mild weekend across southern Wisconsin. You can see even in the Northwoods, most areas have 3 inches or less of snow on the ground. Just a few spots in far northeastern Wisconsin with maybe up to 6 inches of snow. Rain in the forecast and much milder conditions as we go through the week here in southern Wisconsin. We are starting in the 50s in many spots early this morning. 51 here in Madison, 50 in Mineral Point, 53 in Prairie du Chien. It is going to get wet around here. If you haven't seen any rain just yet, we have widespread rain moving across the Wisconsin-Illinois state line right now. For the most part, it's light to maybe moderate rain at this time. No thunder being reported as well. Your Bust Up weather forecast says grab that rain gear for today. Rain is likely across the region, especially as you head home from school this afternoon. Have a wonderful Monday.
All right, Hattie, thank you. 9 months after a car crash changed the lives of Badgers assistant coach Howard Moore and his son Jarrell, the community is still showing their support. A group of friends, family, and Badger fans went to Bonefish Grill on the west side to raise money for the Moore Foundation and help the family remodel their home to help Howard's needs as he continues to recover from that Memorial Day weekend crash. It took the life of his wife and daughter. At the event, 13-year-old Jarrell approached our Melissa Kim and asked to be interviewed. He says he's wanted to do it for a long time because he knows there are a lot of people to thank for their love and support. And with his grandma's permission, here's what Jarrell had to say.
It's really hard to explain. You just move on and you know that they're with you and you just do stuff for them. And you know that they'll be happy for you no matter what you do, and they'll support you. It's a great blessing to have, and I'm very humble to say, and how many people have come just to help us and help out with the situation.
What's the best way you think that people can help you guys right now?
Well, just support us and just help us move on. We don't really need much. We'll get through this as time goes on.
Such a strong little boy. The Badgers have dedicated this whirlwind season to the Moors, living and playing by the mantra, do more, be more, for more.
Time right now, 6:47. Coming up in the morning sprint, as nuclear agreements stall between the U.S. and North Korea, the dictatorship launches its latest batch of missiles. Details ahead.
But first, if you have a little kid turning 3 soon, please let us know so we can show their picture on TV. Thanks for watching News 3 Now this morning.
Look Who's 3 is sponsored by Three Bears Resort, Indoor Water Park and Conference Center in Warrens, Wisconsin.
Welcome to the all-new Dwellings. Don't miss our new Fitchburg showroom grand opening now through March 31st.
The Culligan high-efficiency water softener is the world's best. It's backed by the industry's strongest warranty and serviced by the world's largest local dealer network. Click or call Culligan Water and start saving today.
The Our Home is the training ground for her dreams policy from American Family Insurance. Insure carefully. Dream fearlessly.
I want a client who comes in to feel comfortable and to know that their case is in good hands so they can relax and get on with their life as best as they can and let me do the fighting for them. That's how I want them to feel.
Gingras, Thompson, and Walks.
Who has my charger? My Hy-Vee grocery cart's about to die. Will you take our picture with my Hy-Vee grocery cart?
Absolutely. Hey, is that the latest Hy-Vee grocery cart? Yeah.
Please put your Hy-Vee grocery carts in airplane mode for takeoff.
Sir, you left your Hy-Vee grocery carts on the table. Oh, thank you.
Download the all-new Hy-Vee shopping app. It's the fresh way to shop fresh.
Please be courteous and silence your Hy-Vee grocery carts.
Hey, movie starting. Yeah. I'm almost done with my grocery shopping.
It's no secret, Robertson is Wisconsin's aesthetic leader. But with results this natural, patients can keep it a secret if they want. Our secret to reducing stubborn body fat? Cool Sculpting. And now with 25% off, it's time to learn how Cool Sculpting is different at Robertson.
January 21st is National Hugging Day, but you do more than just give hugs. You care for everyone, and AARP is here to help with tools to navigate the realities of caregiving. Think of it as one big hug. Take on today with AARP.
The all-new Silverado HD adds to the legendary capability of the strongest, most advanced Silverados ever. With best-in-class camera technology and larger, more functional beds than any competitor, the only truck that can compare to a Silverado is another Silverado.
Truck Month is the right time to get behind the wheel of the Chevy Silverado. Now get 0% financing for 72 months plus $500 cash allowance on all Silverado 1500 Crew Cab pickups. See your Badgerland Chevy dealer today.
Dwellings, Madison's best kept $150 secret. Visit our new Fitchburg showroom grand opening now through March 31st.
Get 2 weeks at Anytime Fitness for just $2.
6:51, time for the morning sprint.
We start with the latest on the coronavirus here in the U.S. Health officials say containment of the virus is no longer possible, pushing the U.S. into the, quote, mitigation phase. This essentially means we should expect more cases and more deaths, but the U.S. Surgeon General says this doesn't mean you should panic. There are now more than 500 cases of the coronavirus in the U.S. across 34 states and Washington, D.C. At least 20 people have died.
The University of Utah Hospital is taking an innovative approach to preventing the spread. The hospital shared this picture on Twitter. It's a negative pressure emergency department screening tent. They say if there was an outbreak, staff would be able to screen patients in the freestanding facility without the risk of the virus spreading to staff and patients. There's currently one confirmed case in Utah.
We don't want to put communities at risk.
The Grand Princess cruise ship will start evacuating some of the 3,000 passengers trapped today. They've been quarantined since Wednesday, unable to dock since officials learned a man who traveled on that ship later last month died of the virus. A 10-acre site of the port of Oakland is getting prepped and secured for their arrival. Getting everyone off the ship could take 3 days.
The State Department wants you to avoid traveling on cruise ships altogether because of the risks. In an advisory, the government says people with underlying health conditions shouldn't travel by cruise ship because of the increased risk of infection in that environment. They're urging passengers who have booked cruises to contact their cruise company for more information.
And the spread of the coronavirus is having a major impact on the markets. For the first time in history, Treasury yields are trading below 1%, and the Dow futures estimated an opening drop of nearly 1,300 points. Bloomberg News reports the markets are now pricing for the Federal Reserve to cut rates to 0% in the next few months. That's the lowest since the global financial crisis.
The coronavirus could impact next month's state elections. Verona Mayor Luke Diaz is encouraging folks to absentee vote. In a Facebook post, Diaz says depending on guidance from the CDC, state and public buildings could be closed or short-staffed in the case of an outbreak. Information about how to absentee vote will be found on our website, channel3000.com.
Voters in 6 states will head to the polls tomorrow in the first round of primaries since Super Tuesday. Michigan is the largest of the 6 states voting Tuesday and could redefine this primary. Bernie Sanders beat Hillary Clinton in 2016, but Joe Biden has been appealing to the state's auto workers, citing the Obama administration's bailout of the industry, which helped save thousands of jobs.
Just into the newsroom this morning, former Democratic candidate Cory Booker is joining Kamala Harris in endorsing Joe Biden. Meanwhile, civil rights leader Reverend Jesse Jackson is supporting Bernie Sanders, who says the endorsement is one of the great honors of his life.
And we have new numbers just into the newsroom this morning. A new CNN poll shows Biden is the favorite of Democratic voters by 16% since Elizabeth Warren has dropped out of the race. The poll was taken on March 4th through the 7th. Support for Biden is up nearly 30% since January.
2 days after threatening to take momentous action, North Korea fired 3 unidentified projectiles off its east coast. Today's launch is the second in the past 10 days. Nuclear talks between the U.S. and North Korea are stalled since the second summit between Kim and President Trump in early 2019 ended without any agreement.
The Diocese of Madison will reinstate Father William Nolan to his previous status as a retired priest after an internal investigation cleared him. He was acquitted of 6 sexual assault charges back in September, which under testimony Nolan said were false. An internal investigation confirmed that the findings of the allegations were not credible. In the next few days, Nolan will have full faculties as a priest. He will not be doing, though, any public ministry.
A resolution proposal to bring LGBTQ+ inspired murals to pedestrian-only crosswalks in downtown Madison is in the works, with the message of inclusivity behind them. The proposal features 5 Progress Pride flag murals, one at the top of State Street near the Capital City Trail. This project is expected to cost about $50,000. All of it will be funded by private donors. If approved, organizers anticipate the paintings in time for summer. Madison's Finance Committee will take up this resolution this evening. Patty?
And we are looking at your first warned weather forecast. We have rain in the area today. Showers, maybe light to moderate at times. The risk for thunder pretty low now across southern Wisconsin. But you can see some widespread rain moving just across the state line right now. That rain will continue to lift northward as we go through the day. Temperatures are going to hold fairly steady, though, in the upper 40s to low 50s. That extended forecast does have quite a few chances for precipitation this week. Most of them, though, in the form of rain with mild temperatures.
All right, thank you so much, Hattie.
And thanks for joining us. Make it a great day. We'll leave you with a live look at that breaking news in Beloit this morning. If we can take up that CAFR chat, we'll have live updates coming out throughout CBS this morning.